and it took all three of them at the same time and shut them down instantly. Because that is just 100% because of their communication and their synergy, which is just such an important factor, especially for these Asian teams, and they just pulled it off perfectly.
So then we see head-to-head between Team Secret and Purple Mood, third and fourth. Again, there's no huge comparison. So we're seeing that even though these teams on a placement point of view, you know, they're getting third, but when you're only getting 2 kills, I do slightly think that it is down the line. It could go against you a little bit more. You want to make sure you're getting a couple more kills, like Purple Mood.
Okay, so I got a little piece of extra information, especially for Team Secret for you. You guys tried to stay on the edge of the circle most of that game on Miramar. Didn't quite work out. In the future, in your next games, is that something you guys will maybe not do, especially on Miramar for tomorrow, or are you going to try and keep staying on the edge of the circle like you do in most of your games?
It depends. We have to, after today is over, we'll go back and watch the replay again, and only we can come to a conclusion about whether we should change our strategy or should we stick to the same one.
Okay, that seems okay.
So, you're 3 games in. You've got 9 more games left. There you go, expert maths. How confident are you of getting into the top 5?
I just play in my team plans and not a special plan, not a secret plan, not everything. We just do it the best because my team is my team think they can we can go through the grand final rounds.
Okay.
Thank you.
How about yourself? How are you guys feeling confident about getting maybe the top 5?
As of now, after the 3 matches, we are not in the top 5 currently.
I know.
Yeah, but I believe a certain degree of self-confidence is necessary.
Okay.
And I believe that we'll be able to make it. I mean, we'll try our best. Yeah.
Good. I've got one final question. You kind of mentioned it. What would you like to say to the people who are watching you from your home country and supporting you guys? What would you like to say to them?
ก็ขอบคุณทุกคนที่จากประเทศไทยนะครับที่เชียร์พวกเราแล้วก็ I want to thank you overseas from other regional that you support me and support us. Thank you so much.
Should I say it again?
Yeah.
So to everyone watching this right now, thank you for taking your time out to watch this and to support us. We appreciate that, and hopefully we won't let you guys down. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, guys, and just thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck in the games.
Best of luck with your next games. We hope to see you guys maybe into the global finals next weekend. But anyways, got a small little spotlight for one of the teams, and that is Team Top. How are they doing so far?
제 이름은 박성민이고요. 그다음에 28살이고 저희 팀은 이제 TOP 팀이라는 팀에 속해 있는 일원입니다. 지금 저희가 오게 된 이유는 이제 프레림 경기를 치르러 독일 베를린에 와 있습니다. 일단 저 포함해서 팀원들에게 정말 좋은 기회로 다가온 것 같고요. 그다음에 이제 독일에 온 만큼 열심히 해서 파이널까지 진출을 하고 그다음에 꼭 좋은 성적을 얻을 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 말 그대로 TOP 탑입니다. 이번 경기는 저희 팀원들끼리만 왔습니다. 총 4명이서 왔어요. 올해 했던 직업은 이제 바리스타를 오래 했고요. 그다음에 이제 근래까지 하던 직업은 테일러였습니다. 게임을 하게 된 건 이제 지인의 권유로 인해서 접하게 되었습니다. 국내나 해외 많은 대회들을 봤을 때 이제 점수 계산하는 방법에 있어서 생존 점수가 많이 높더라고요. 그래서 그 점수를 많이 얻기 위해서 최대한 생존을 하고 필요한 교전만 하면서 게임을 진행했던 것이 이제 아마 올 수 있게 된 비법이 아닐까 싶습니다. 없습니다. 라이벌은 없어요.
And there it is, a little bit more information about Team Top. That has been doing Okay, so fine, the tournament.
I instantly like him more because he used to be a barista, and I used to be a barista too. So you know what, I instantly like this guys, and as we saw the fact that once again they have a female in the team, and there's somebody who is kind of representing that part of esports and that part of the community is a really big thing. And honestly, you know, I really hope that they do make it to the grand finals next week. They seem confident enough.
It would be cool to have a Korean team over there in the global finals next weekend. But this is what marks the halfway point of today's broadcast. We are 3 games in, 3 more to go. Erangel ×2, and then 1 more on Vikendi. I can't personally wait for Vikendi. I can't wait to jump into it. It's my personal favourite map. I know a lot of people might not agree with that. It's a really fun one to see, but
you are French, so you know.
I know we like weird things like baguettes and croissants. So,
yeah, I know, and snails as well.
I don't like snails. I am ashamed. Okay,
but look at this standings. Like XQuest dominating the top spot, 90 points in 3 games. That's an average of 30 points per game, with a huge lead over second place, which is Nova Monster Shield.
Nova Monster Shield. They won game 2. There was on Erangel. Can they do it once again? Seemed like they're very comfortable on that map. They were able to anticipate the circle really well, and that's what gave them that win. Eyes are going to be on this team easily, I think, but you can see like the top section of this leaderboard, just Asian. Full of Asian teams, and then in 5th position, Team Kesso lurking around.
I told you they were
the kill points. They are still there, lurking in the shadows.
I told you they were the dark horse. I told you they were the dark horse. They hold on to it, but like here's the thing. This is what I talk about. They are in 5th place on 47 points, max man. Like Omen Elite, Team Secret, Indian Tigers. Like they're all within the 40-point mark as well. So there's really like kind of no difference. And even when you look at the side of the Formula, who's in 11th place, they're on 31 points. That's nothing. That's only 15 points.
And then you've seen a bunch of teams that are really struggling. Once again, Kurt's squad, they only got 10 points. Team Top, they are... Even though last game, I think they did okay in their positioning. Like, just their 2 first games were just a disaster. I think it's okay to say that. So, Team Top, we're hoping they can do a little bit better right now. Our team exactly the same. And it's just these... Now you're starting to see, once again, the line getting drawn over, and it's going to be harder and harder for these teams to get over
their way
that
back.
threshold.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, you know, again to reiterate, our GSR team, you know, in the regional finals for the wild card, we saw them have a bit of a struggle where they weren't really featuring that heavily. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride, but at the end of the day, when it came to those moments, when it came to those final games, they came in and they pushed on through into 2nd place overall.
That's cool. We're going to have to try and hope that they can now step it up, because they have a bunch of sessions up and down, and it seems like right now they started on a down. So Eyes are going to be also an RD star team as they represent the wildcard. The only team actually of wildcard in this prelims right now. We did also have Nova Esports that went directly to the global stage. So I think it would be a really nice story to have 2 wildcard teams in there, but so far it's not looking so good for them.
Yeah, it would definitely be good, but I do want to see. I want to see these 2 NA teams step up to the plate. Both teams are outside the top 5. We've seen Omen Elite show a flurry of potential, but they've yet to really hit the mark that we know they can. And plus, that the rest of the NA community and the NA, you know, their NA supporters know that they can pull out. They know what they can do as a team. I know that, yes, of course, they have somebody in that is somewhat of a last-minute replacement, but they have a lot of potential on their side. Decided the formula, as you see on your screens, they're enjoying the moment. They're having a bit of fun. They feel and look quite relaxed.
Because as I said when we talked to them yesterday, they're really confident and just having a fun time. It's just a group of friends coming over to a LAN event, trying to have one hell of a good time, and that seems like what they're here for, just for the nice story and the good times.
But they do have a lot of ambition. Again, talking to Oregon or David, they have a lot of ambition. They really have huge goals that they want to set. They're aware that this is their first live event. They are aware that this is the start of something big, and they want to make it even bigger, and they are going to look to make that happen as much as possible.
And one team that's going to have to try and search and go on the search for making bigger plays, better moments for themselves in these games. That's going to be Kurt's squad.
Easy.
Easy. Last position, well, not really. It is Team From Hell, but From Hell is not here, unfortunately. They are in last position. player squad. Their gameplay style has been all over the place. They've been going for compound breaches to compound defenses, and it hasn't really worked out. I think that they're trying to adapt. I don't know if it's just me that's feeling that way or not, but they're trying to adapt a different play style than their own, and it hasn't been working out for them. In Middle East, I remember seeing a few of the VODs of their gameplay. They do not usually play like this. They play really confidently. Right now, they do not feel confident. And we talked about sometimes the live event stage just being a little bit of more pressure. It might be really impacting them.
It might be indeed. And like, as you look at this purple mood there.
Dab. Don't do it.
Don't dab, please don't dab. Oh, the gunslinger comes in. See. Not only are his fingers ready, but he's game ready.
Okay, they're a fun team. I like them. They got to try now to on Erangel. They had a really good game on their first game on Erangel. They got to try and work on their shifts a little bit better. I think they were a little bit late at some stage to anticipate the circle, and that's what cost them the game. They were still in second position, which is awesome, but when you're in second position, that means there's always something better that you can do, and just that reaction time late game to the circle might just be what Purple Mood need to actually come in and take the chicken dinner.
It definitely is, but what's more important on the side of Purple Mood, because they are third place, is that just they create that points gap between fourth and fifth. They need to create that point differential, because all it's going to take is one bad result tomorrow. Should they have good results today but not good enough that they create a high point difference, all it's going to take is one bad result tomorrow and they can find themselves in 7th or 8th.
Like when you're in the leaderboard, just like 30 points is so impactful that another bunch of teams are going to take those 30 points and just overtake you really easily, because so far we do not have 30-point gaps between like close positions. So as you said, like one good game and one bad game can change the entire leaderboards we have so far. It's insane.
It is, and like, because if you look at XQuest, like I said, they've 90 points in 3 games. That's an average of 30 points per game. When I talk about the averages per game to really kind of get into a qualifying situation, when I did my research based on the teams that qualified for here, the 2 teams that had pulled in strong performances were teams that got 26 points per average, but that was actually only for 5 games that they played to qualify for here. Whereas the rest of the teams were all between 22 and 19. With 30 points per game on XQuest, if they keep that up, we're going to see a monster of a result.
They're just running away with the lead at this point. Their average is like 10 points above like all of the main averages you see in like the regional finals and everything. So like they are just looking damn good so far, and I can't wait to see what they would actually do in the global stage. I'm actually really surprised to not see XQuest in the global stage right off the bat, by seeing what they've been offering us as gameplay like so far. It's been great. So I don't know what happened, but like they deserve to be there.
And that's the thing. This is what is exciting. Not to take too much away from the preliminary final, but yeah, this is kind of the somewhat the second best, right? We still have teams that are going to show up next week in once again in Berlin on the global finals on the main stage, and we're going to see even better games from them. And the top 5 that qualify for that from these preliminary finals, I feel they're going to have to step up their game even more.
Definitely, there's going to be a lot of pressure on their shoulders. There we go. They are just relaxed now, waiting for the game to start. They are in the lobby. And I wait. So, back to serious topic. What team do you think will take this second game of Erangel today?
Oh man, like that's a $64 million question, right, Maxon? In terms of
more like 2.5 million.
Is it like, hey. On a pure betting point of view, you got to say XQuest. But then again, on Erangel, XQuest had their worst performance, so you can't discount that they can have another bad result, right? I want it to be one of the NA teams or Deformia, because all of those 3 teams, Pittsburgh Knights, Omen Elite and Deformia, they all need to step up their game.
Yeah, a lot of the teams have to do that. And one region that hasn't stepped it up yet is they're like the Indian teams. Team Indian Tigers, Team IND. They have been doing, like, most of the time when they would go down is like mistakes. Like, we had that like weird Irangle play of being around the what's it called, the shack, and that was a really weird moment right there. They also rotate into the circle really late, so I think that right now the Indian teams, they have to really step it up. I know that the Indian teams have a lot of support at home, and I think we even supported them on the desk. We're hoping they're going to do a way better performance this time around. But it's just they don't seem like their normal like gameplay style, which is like is really shifted since what I saw on the VODs and on their streams.
Well,
and now,
and even though I said that there's a chance that them being in their own studio back in India could be a bit of advantage if they are a huge fan of a live event situation. But if they are a fan of a live event situation and they play best in a live event situation, because the regional finals for India was a live event.
So they're used to it.
So that could actually be having a negative effect on their performance. It could be in their head that we should be there in person. And if you were to say that, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter, because the benefit and the joy of PUBG Mobile is that you can play anywhere.
You can play anywhere, when you want, with who you want.
Exactly. So it shouldn't matter whether you're playing from your bedroom, whether you're playing from a top of a mountain, whether you're playing in a little studio, or whether you're playing in a live event. You play your own game and you play to the best of your ability.
I think you might have connection issues if you play on the top of a mountain, but that's just me.
I'm sure most players have played on the toilet at some point as well, so
that's the best place.
It is the best place
to play PUBG. There you go.
You heard it here first, guys. Toilet action on the side of PUBG Mobile. It is the best place to play it. But yeah, it's definitely something that they need to get out of their head.
Definitely, that's going to be really important for these teams right now. One kind of playstyle I'm going to focus on. I've been talking a lot about this playstyle because that's something in the wildcard series that we didn't see all that much, but it's something that we've seen a lot today, and that is the fact of staying around on the circle, on the edge of the circle, a little bit out even of the circle if needed. Team Secret and Team Kesso, on Irangle, Game 2, they stayed really, really close to the edge there, and they got really far into the game. But they got shut down early on because they did not have a compound. I think that now what they have to do is adapt that playstyle of early game to mid game. You stay on the edge of the circle, then you start looking for compounds, because that's way more valuable. Compound plays are way more valuable on Irangle than any map.
Well, yeah, you're dead right, especially because compared to, let's say, Miramar, where you have a lot of dips in the hills that you can cover behind, there's a lot more open field. Yes, you have the trees that can play in your favour on the hill areas, but there is a lot more openness, so getting that compound in Irangle is ever so important. When you mentioned the likes of Team Queso that like to hold the edge of the zone, like I said, on Miramar, they were doing that, but when they did go into circle, they went in it from essentially the direct south area, where they should have gone towards the east and angled in through there. What has kind of surprised me, even though it's somewhat of a normal thing, look at that boy, my boy Aimlocker from RG Star Team, and one thing that has kind of surprised me is the amount of teams that have gone deep into the circle and has created that kind of cluster of teams clogged up. And when you see the circle shift that we've seen on a couple of these games, it can kind of go against them. So I would say, if you're going to go into circle, in my opinion, don't hold the dead center. Hold kind of in between the center and the edge of the circle.
The reason for that is we have so many Asian teams, and that is like the kind of meta and what they always that's what they play by, is going in the dead center, stop team from rotating. But if you have to rotate away from that circle, you're going to have a few teams go down in the process. So it is like both play styles are valuable depending on the shifts of the circle and the map. But we saw like the amount of success from both sides. It just depends on how adaptive you are in every single scenario that shows up to your front door.
Man, showing up to your front door indeed. We do see these teams are ready. The lights are down, the atmosphere, the players are loaded in. Irangle, game 4 of game 6 today is coming your way.
I just can't wait to see who's going to take it home. Will it be Nova Monster Shield? Once again, 2 games on Irangle going their way. We'll have to wait and see in just a few more seconds. Here we go, game 4 loading up, and where we are dropping, boys.
So we do see this plane trajectory is somewhat towards the west.
from a really good place, so I did really enjoy that kind of move from their side. But here it is, the team started to drop, and X-Quest F always dropping pretty hard normally, but are they going to go Pachinki? Doesn't seem like it. They're going towards the west side right now. And it seems like we're having a little bit of a copy-paste and repeat of what happened earlier. And also, that game on Erangel earlier on game 2, Purple Mood did also drop pretty high north. And seems like they're going for that again and easily set themselves up in that location.
Told you. I'm an elite in top esports.
Well, there we go.
I was actually right for once, in fairness.
Team Secret, Team Kesso going for the same kind of location. They got the same kind of play style, so I think they got the idea of going for Primorsk, staying on the edge, rotating inwards. That's what they do. That's what we're used to so far. And actually, more than one team this time around going to be going over to military base. That's going to be 3 teams. As
I think one member of Nova Monster Shield has
maybe
had a bit of an issue, but let's see what happens. Either way, I want to see what this Phase 1 circle, will we get a military base circle? Will we get an Area 51 of these teams searching for the aliens? I can pretty much tell you that it's going to be a military base finish. Thank you, PUBG Mobile gods.
Thank you. I am so happy. When we were casting Wildcard, I was always just waiting for military base. I had one military base ending in all of the Wildcard series.
Okay, so let's look at it now. Okay, we've got to look at it. These teams have got to move in.
They're really okay.
Okay.
They see me rolling. They hate it. Especially Team Secret.
Did you see his beat this horn after he got that kill? That was ultimate troll. So that's first frag going over to Team K, so it's going to help them. But you got to look at these teams. They've got to move into military base as quickly as possible. You've got 2 options. You either move in super early or you move in super late. As in, when I say super late, as in Phase 2 Blue Zone late. Because in my opinion, anything in between, you're going to get absolutely cooked.
2 teams are in a really good situation. That's Nova Monster team and Nova Monster Shield, and also the side of Team Kessa to start to rotate towards the bridge. And that bridge area, especially the west one, if you can defend that, so many teams are going to try and get towards that location. It's a really good place because especially the west bridge has a compound right next to it and a really good high ground location. If you can work with that this early on and have really good high tier loot, even up to long range weapons such as the Kar 98, you can be just an absolute beast of a team on this game 4.
You can be. We do see the Formia. They found a vehicle in Rosshawk. They need a good result, so if I were them, I would go into military base as quick as possible. You see Nova Monster Shield, you talked about their position. It's pretty strong. RG Star are near them, so it's something they're going to be careful of. If I were Team Secret and Team K, so I would get into a boat, or 2 get in a boat, 2 get in the vehicle, and make their way to military base that way.
Definitely, that's what they should try and focus on. Also, you got a compound next to the West Bridge inside of military base, so that would be a really good location. It's not taken over because the main military base is taken over by Team IND, and then you have Novo on the east side taken over by Team Top. Yeah. That means that the 2 main compounds with all the loot from this area is taken over. So you're going to have a hard time. After it is big enough, like military base is big enough to have like up to 2 teams, 3 teams even maybe, but like when you are not dropping there already and the team's already locked and loaded, it's going to be really hard to push inwards and call it home.
Yeah, you're dead right. I want to know how salty Purple Moody Sports are with that circle.
I gotta say also Team Kesso, they did exactly what I said, got the boat, got military base, avoided the bridge because the bridge, not great game really gatekeep. Like got RG Star Team and Nova Monster Shield that could go there and set that as their main location, but it seems like no one is really going for it right now.
No, not going
maybe
for it
RG?
right now. No? Let's see what happens. Right now we're looking at All Rejection Gaming. They've had some somewhat consistent decent performances, yet to really hit a high mark that we would like to see them kind of showcase what they can do overall. They've had some good kills that have really kind of helped them in terms of the overall placement. They're in Yasna and Pollyanna, and the good thing is that as they move down south, they can actually go towards the east side bridge because nobody is on the east side of the map.
That is going to be a location that I think a lot of teams might be looking towards to try and call home right now, but they do not have the information. Once again, they do not know if there are teams that are set in those locations, so
Okay.
it would be a risky one. Also, you're going to have a few teams that are up north. You're going to have to try and rotate towards the circle, because if it goes in military base, it's going to be extremely punishing for the likes of Team Omens, Team Purple Mood. Right now going to have a few shots fired between RG Star Team and Team Kesso towards that bridge area.
Oh, man.
It is a nice grenade cooked up on top of Axel, going to be putting him knocked, but now another rush on the other side. RG Star Team, that is how you do a compound breach, ladies and gentlemen. Getting two angles, overwhelming them with sheer power and destruction, and taking it home.
Plus using the grenade to get that first knockdown, Max,
Gives
it's
man
so
advantage.
safe. And it gives you the man advantage, because they didn't actually know how many people were in that compound. There could have been 4 people. They didn't know, so to still rush in after that one grenade knockdown, it just shows how confident they are. I do feel a little bit sad, because I love both of these teams and I want both of them to do well. So I'm a little bit kind of salty, but either way, this game goes on. This game goes on indeed.
So I was talking about the high ground compound towards the bridge area, and it seems like it will be under the control of Indian Tigers. I think that's a really good place to work with.
Yeah.
Just hoping they don't give it away, because there are a lot of teams storming around right there, so they've got to be really cautious, have the eye on the trigger and shoot if needed. But because 2 other members actually are split, Indian Tigers going for a split kind of playstyle, I don't really agree with that.
Especially when it's a military base finish. Now, I have no problem with it being a 2-2 split to enter into military base, but up until that
They're
point,
defending the
it
bridge.
is risky.
Defend the bridge with 4 members. That makes way more sense. You see, that's what I mean also by the Indian team, like especially Team Indian Tigers, like not playing to their playstyle. I would never see them do that at the live finals in India. But here it is, though. Nice shots fired coming out from Deformia. And they're trying to get together. As we said, they're trying to get together. I understand. Thank you very much, Indian Tigers. They maybe heard us in the headset and they did what we just said. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's something that that made sense for them to do, because the 2 members were low in health, that they have to try and stick together as a full squad. Next quest, start off their quest. See what I did there? To get another chicken dinner.
Chat. The quest of the F.
So
FU
Zute does get taken down though on the side of Omen. That does put them down to 3 players. So it's something they're going to be aware of.
Omen in the background moving around this compound under the control of X-Quest. I think it's a really good place to work with. You got the coastline of the water behind you, so that means you're not going to get dived on by behind. So you got only 180 degrees of land to work with here to defend, and X-Quest that can work with a 360 degree, but if it's halved, they're going to have even more pressure on that front line, and it can just stop anyone from diving and engaging on that compound.
Yeah, exactly, and it's something that that will really kind of play into this game right now. Like we saw Nova Monster Shield, they're not a military base, they're actually choosing to hold Ferry and Pier on their own. That's kind of a good thing, but it's something that could go against them as all of these teams look to make their way into military base, and as this phase 2 and phase 3 comes up, it could not really bode well as Team IND and the Indian Tigers come together.
You can see there's a big cluster of teams towards that west bridge. So a few of them are going actually, okay, we don't need to. We're just going to go all through the water or on the east side. You can see some teams rotating towards the east location, especially Kurt Squad, also
and
the Knights.
And here's the thing, like, again, kind of common sense. The plane trajectory was on the west side of the map, yeah? So common sense tells you most of the teams would have landed on the west side, as in they wouldn't have gone that deep north. So if you're going to enter into military base, 9 times out of 10, most of the teams are gonna be on the west side. So there's plenty of space on the east side, and we had vision on what Team Queso did. They've now gone onto the east side of military base because they know that common sense says there's going to be little to no teams there. It's brilliant thinking.
But it is already Rejection Gaming actually rotating that way too, so we might have a clash of these 2 teams though.
Yeah.
Team IND and the other Indian team, Indian Tigers, they are going to be slowly clashing back and forth, but that was a scout of Team IND, so you want to leave, you saw there was a 4-man squad, you can't 1v4, at least I think, so don't take the risk.
Hey, you never know, you never know.
I would love to have a 1v4 clutch here.
Could pull out an aim locker, you know, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it an aim locker, a 1v4.
Still Prince towards that bridge location right now, underneath the bridge to be completely exact. And Team IND now trying to get together. I do appreciate that they have the compound. They're just going to try and stop Indian Tigers from getting a prime location to work with. And that is a really smart play, really reactive, really nice. Done here. This shots fired coming out. Where's that Scar L? Almost taken down Carry, not able to quite get that finishing blow. He's trying to run through, gets to rock just in time and gets thrown down. N24 shots. Gonna try and get a nice bit of bolt action. But playing really defensive, not really wanting to give their location, but they can't get away from this. There's no way.
Well,
unless they go around, but even the circle's going to move against them. Like,
if they have the smoke utilities, they can make a smoke wall. Well, hey, look, if it means you survive later on in the game, you kind of have to do that, right, Maxon? Yeah. So what they could do is they could create that smoke wall and then actually make their way around the other side of the bridge and go upwards, and then they'll be safe from the side of the Team IND.
I think they're going to have a hard time regenerating back up Marvy. Yeah. I think it's safe to assume he's going to die. They will turn them into a 4v3 for Team IND. There it is. Got taken away by the Scar L push. And it is pretty passive.
Yeah, it is pretty passive. Like, the good thing for Indian Tigers at the end of the day is that they're inside circle. So the hope for them, because they're underneath the bridge, Maxon, the hope for them is that they can stay there and another team will third party Team IND, and that will give them a chance to exit.
That might be the opportunity they're looking for, so just got to try and take their time, hoping that the circle doesn't shift away from their location. But here it is, getting that coming on through. Not really working out there. The high ground there is so valuable as that third person view can actually spot out Prince.
Yep.
Get in and out, but he has information also around there. Grenade, will he get the double?
Kobe?
It's an opportunity, he's cooking up the grenade. Here it is, got regen back up. The grenade coming on through is going to kill him right away when it knocks. And here it is, another one coming on through. And now it's the engagement pulled the trigger by Team IND. Getting two members down, and they can just look for the flush, look for the engage. And you have one member remaining, and that is Team Prince, as we've seen his POV right now. And he's just in such a bad spot. And here it is, the third person view on that high ground is just going to be so impactful. Two Indian teams fighting up against each other. Team IND coming out on top.
Purple Rain not paying off for the side of Indian Tigers, as they will have to reset themselves for game 5. But this game 4 is going to continue on as IND looking for more action, looking for more kills. It's a formula, make their way through the coast.
Going to try and reposition ASAP, but Team Omen's elite, then the distance.
Yep.
I keep on saying Omen's esports. I don't know why.
Oh, is it because Omen's as a men's? Is it men's esports? Did you just assume the gender of that organization? That is terrible. It's 2019.
I apologize. I didn't think about what I'm saying.
Maybe Omen Elite identifies as an Apache helicopter. You know, like that's. It's terrible. But either way, Pittsburgh Knights, they're going for a swim. I talk about it, how exercise is an important part of staying active and having, good reflection, good reactions, should I say. Pittsburgh Knights, getting that swim.
They're trying to get towards the mainland right now. Omen still, they do not have really a compound under their control. But here it is, they're going to lose one of their members, actually. Not looking too good. Only two more remaining on their side. And not so good start. They were playing from very high north. They went to George Pole, and now they're rotated inwards. And that is at this stage, because it's such a closed up area, military base, you were going to have a hard time getting in the circle.
And again, considering both teams are in need of a good result, for one of them to kind of come out on top, that's really going to help them. As Pittsburgh Knights, they're swimming their way across towards All Reject Gaming. But the thing is, do they expect that? Are they going to see it? I know when you are in the water and when you go underneath the water, even if you get shot at, you're still going to take damage.
And also if you get knocked, you instantly die.
Yeah.
So there's no second life right there. So, All Rejecting Gaming, they have an opportunity. All Rejecting Gaming, they have an opportunity to take a team down, and I think that's one opportunity they have to take to try and get back up into the high sections of that leaderboard. But it's still, a military base ending is so essential. You want a military base, this is a perfect thing to work with, and I'm absolutely in love with this fourth game, Imperium.
Well, are you gonna take it out for a nice
dinner? Yeah, probably. We'll go for pizza, something like that.
A bottle of wine, and see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So okay.
Like want to join us?
Okay. Are we going to have a military base threesome? Anyway, keep it PG, boys and girls. Keep it PG. But Team IND, great spot coming out from no out, as he is going to try and fire those shots off towards XQuest.
If you didn't know what spraying was, this is what spraying is. And applying a lot of pressure on XQuest F as he's trying to rotate in the circle. And as you said, if you're a late bloomer, you're not going to have a good time to get in that military base area, especially when it's...
他们你们是怎么去融合去达成共识，要跑到中间去？
我们
like he go inside the center of the regime.
Yeah, like it took them some time to get in. There was a lot of pressure on them.
他们说你们花了一点时间才能到你们要去的那个点，你们是怎么去达成共识的？
我们队伍会非常听指挥说的，所以意见比较统一。
Do you have a leader which like control every strategy to go where that direction? So we will